get to it. Owen Wright, what a performance he had. We had question marks about him coming back to competition as early as January, so it was a late call to actually make the decision to get in, and he's really shown up in a big way here.
He did, and we were lucky enough to see him surf in Meriwether, where I actually did get to see his true first heat since the injury, and he put up a couple sevens there. But here, this performance, it wasn't just about riding the waves. He actually surfed a very tactically sound heat, and that's something that you really need to do here at this level.
Yeah, definitely. For me, this was definitely the feel-good heat, right? Because Owen comes back, returns to grace after everything that's happened. You come back from injury, there's always a question mark, okay? Now he's got a beautiful woman by his side, he's got a Bubba next to him, but this right here, my friend, was inspiration. Ethan Ewing really inspired me today. Watching this kid surf, watching him on the main stage, the lights got turned on, he got on stage and just went to town and dropped the mic. He didn't win the heat, but he inspired a lot of people today.
I just can't help but get that kind of that magic feeling that you are watching a bit of Andy reborn here. It's great to see that kind of style back on the championship tour. He didn't get the win, but definitely put together the best wave, I think, of any of the rookies. Just those big turns, such great variety. But Owen calculated, Pete. It wasn't just a great physical performance. Mentally, he was on point.
Well, and a lot of it had to do with that score that we just saw from Ethan Ewing that came in at a 9-point ride, right? That would have been like, oh, whoa, I got to step it up. But he didn't try to all of a sudden change what he needed to do. He just went out there and got on better waves and surfed his waves just as solid as he did and won the heat with sound, good tactician type of surfing, which at this level he needs to do.
We've seen him surf better, but definitely looking like he is on the road to getting back to where he was.
We might see him surf better as he moves through the rounds here. A really solid performance, coupling up a couple of eights and looking deadly as he moves on through. But what an effort from him, and really am super psyched to see him back.
So am I. And I think everybody is, and that's why all the feel-good story. I mean, we had another heat going on between Malia and Coco, but we were kind of stuck on that specific heat for Mikey Wright and also Tyler Wright, because the whole family was here to watch it. Also, it was great.
3 rights.
That was
make
the
a right.
But it was awesome. Awesome watching him return to the beach. You got to remember this day last year, Tyler was winning the contest, being chaired up through a huge crowd. She didn't know that Owen had made his way to the event. He was meant to be keeping a pretty low profile at that point, and it was a huge emotional return to the beach for Tyler, and it was emotional today when Owen hit the sand.
Yeah, you know, the feeling you get, because everybody loves Owen Wright, and when he got injured, it was just this crazy, like, oh wow, really, what happened? And then to see the family come together throughout the whole thing, it's just really great to see it. Everybody feels really good about it.
Well, there's a lot of question marks to come with the type of injury he had. You know, he had a concussion, and concussions are so wild. You just don't know how long it's going to take to recover, if it's going to be 100%. And there's so many question marks, but he's answered those right now.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Owen in early January, and he was so unsure about coming back to the tour and whether he was ever going to get back to his best. And he did have a pretty miraculous turnaround midway through that month, and things started to really pick up, and he did a bit of free surfing training. He came up and surfed with Mick a couple of times, and he just started to really click and started to feel a lot better. And
you wonder if there was something there, you know, was it some little magic oils, you know, something that all of a sudden made that switch? I mean, there's stuff out there. Come on. Come on.
You know what? I'm not going to go past it, Pete.
Right?
I'll let you have that one. Whatever it was that he got into, I'm happy he's back, because it feels, I think it could just be the pure love that was given to him by his family, his girl, having a baby. You know, there's a lot of things that happen, a lot of emotions that turn things around for him. And to see him back, and I mean, you see him, he's ripped up and ready. I mean, that kid is ready to go, and I can't wait to see him on Waves of Consequence and back in the saddle again from what we saw from him, you know, the years prior.
Well, we got some events to do before we get to Fiji and Chopu, but it's going to be awesome to watch his return.